Welcome to this review of the Kindle 4 or regular Kindle, however you want to call it. It's the basic $79 model that doesn't have the touchscreen. It just has the buttons on the side to turn pages and the various buttons on the bottom here to navigate the menus. And so this is the version that has the ads, so the very cheapest one. And so you can see right here, this is one of the ads that you might see when you have it powered off. This is kind of like just a screen that just stays locked like that when the power is off. And so sometimes they'll just be for, the advertisements can be for anything really. Sometimes they're books, sometimes they're coupons, other times, as you can see here, it's for a TV show. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the various buttons and how this looks. The buttons on the bottom here, you can see this is the navigational pad, and then the button in the middle can select things. You've got the home button there to go to the main menu. This is usually settings. This is the keyboard, and this goes back to whatever the previous screen was that you were looking at. And as you can see here on the bottom, you've got the power button there and the USB connection. So that's to charge it up and to transfer files to your computer. So on the side here, you can see there are two buttons. The larger one here advances the page forward. The smaller one there advances it backward. And you've got those buttons on both sides. So it doesn't matter what hand you're holding it in, or if you're left-handed, right-handed. You've got the buttons on both sides. So that's pretty much it. One other thing I'll show you on the back here, these two little metal connectors. If you want a lighted cover or some sort of lighted connection, that's how it connects to power the device. So for reading the Kindle at night, you need some sort of light source, and there are lighted covers, and so they integrate with that to be able to power the light source. And so you can see how thin this is. It's, look at my finger and judge the thickness by that. Really thin, really lightweight, much lighter than a paperback book of any decent size. Okay, so we're going to power it on. Hit the button on the bottom there. And you can see as quickly as that, it is on and ready to go. This is the main menu where you'll see some of the books that you've got. It comes with the dictionaries and the Kindle User's Guide already loaded on there. I've got a few books on here: Player of Games, Book of Deacon, Hunger Games. So you can see also with the ad-supported version, this is where you're going to see the ad when you're on the main menu. And when you actually start to read a book, that goes away. So when you're using any of the features really of the Kindle, the ad you're not going to see at all. So this is the only time you'll see it. And so let's jump right into how it looks when you read. So I just hit the middle button there, and I go right to where I left off with this book where I was reading. And hopefully you can see the quality of the screen. Hopefully that comes through with the high definition camera here. But I'm going to just bring the screen up even a little bit closer. Hopefully you can get an idea of the quality of the screen. It's really identical to the Touch as far as screen quality, which I would consider it as good as a hardcover book. The really good print quality of a hardcover book. It's, sometimes you might see in paperbacks how the print quality isn't that great. It gets a little blurry. It's not like that at all with the Kindle. This is a really high quality printing, so your eyes don't get strained at all, any more than they would with a regular book. And that's also because there is no backlighting like an LCD screen. It doesn't have the way the e-ink works. It's really, really similar to just looking at a piece of paper with words on it that are printed in really high quality ink, high resolution. So yeah, and this is, so let's just take a look at how the page turning is. So I press this button here, and you can see how quickly it turns the pages. Press the back button over here. Again, turns the pages really quickly. So you're not really going to be waiting for the pages to be turning and any type of delay. You can also notice there's not really any ghosting. That might have been an issue on previous Kindles, but on this one it isn't, where there's no faded impression of the previous screen's words there, which is a problem they had on the older versions. This one does not have that problem. And some of the features that it has while you're reading One nice one is, let's say you notice a word in there that you don't understand, you don't know, you've never heard of before. You can use the touchpad to move the cursor, and see it will just appear at the top left there as soon as you press down, or you can move sideways, wherever you need to go. And as soon as the cursor is near whatever word you're looking for the definition of, definition comes up at the bottom there. So that's a nice little feature there if you are giving this as a gift to somebody that is a new reader, or you just read some books that maybe have words you've never seen before. So that's a nice feature. The other one here I'm going to bring up is the settings. You can change the font size. So let's say you have a pretty strong prescription, you're half blind, this is an easy way to change the font size. And you can see it previews it just by moving side to side there. You can also change the typeface, line spacing, words per line, lots of different things there. And then going back to the settings, you can turn the wireless on. I leave it off unless you're shopping online to actually get some sort of new Kindle book. You really should leave it off because that will conserve battery life. But you can see a lot of the other settings here: book description, view notes and highlights, popular highlights. So there's a lot of different things you can play around with here. And then anytime you do anything, like let's say I bring up the keyboard, that's another option there. You can search for anything in particular in the book, like a phrase or whatnot. But as soon as you want to bring that down, you can either hit the keyboard thing again, or you see that brings up, that still leaves that down there. You can just press the back button there, and that will bring you back to the screen that you were on before. Okay, so let's take a look at the Kindle store. So to get there, you hit the settings button there, and then you just select shop in the Kindle store. And then so from here you've got various different options of ways to browse for whatever you're looking for. I'm going to go take a look at Kindle bestsellers. And so you can see this is the top 100 paid bestsellers, but I'm going to take a look at the top 100 free. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that I can download a book and just show you how quickly that happens. So I'll just select the first one here, and we'll take a look and see how long it is to get this downloaded. So normally if the book cost money, you could just select buy and it would download it, and then you would get charged to whatever card or payment method you have linked to your Amazon account. But since this is free, just make sure I'm on buy. Yes, I am. Okay. And so yeah, I'm just going to hit buy there, and it is going to start downloading. So you can see up here it says items downloaded. So I'm pretty sure if I go back to the home screen, it's going to be ready for me. And there it is. It's already downloaded. Select it, ready to go. So you can see how quickly that is, and that is the same for no matter what book you're getting. It's going to be downloaded in under 10 seconds there. Okay, so let's take a look at the experimental section, which is the Kindle web browser. And I'm going to make this short because, to be honest, if you've seen my Kindle Touch review, I really don't recommend using the browser unless you just really have absolutely no other way of getting on the internet. And it makes it even worse using the regular Kindle, because now I can't touch the screen and just type in the words. I have to bring up the keyboard and then manually scroll to each one, so it just makes it really slow and tedious. So let's just show you really quickly how that works. So I go over here to type in the address in the address bar, and I'm just going to go to cnn.com. And we'll just see how quickly that loads, which, if my experience proves correct, it will be pretty slow. And my wireless is pretty fast, so if it's loading slowly, that's just because that's how fast the device does it. And so you can see it's still working on loading things, but I mean, for the most part, you've got all the main sections up there. So I'm going to try to move the scroll cursor down, and you can see how that works, where when you use the directional pad, because the text is too small to see, you have to move the directional pad to bring this magnifying glass up, and then click on any section you want to make larger. And so once you've got it to a size that you can read, then you can go ahead and click on one of the stories there. So I've done that, and I'll show you how that loads and also zoom in on it so you can see how it looks when you zoom in all the way. And hopefully you can hear that I'm clicking these buttons, but it's just sometimes really slow to respond and actually do what you want. So it's almost like you click the button and then just wait and wait and wait. So again, it's just not really recommended, but I just at least wanted to show you that if you absolutely have to use this for checking something on the internet, it does work. It's just going to be really slow. And so you can see the text now is pretty clear. You would definitely be able to read this if you know, you had to in a pinch, but that's enough for that. You can zoom in again more, but I just don't want to wait because you can see it's still loading more stuff, so it's just really, really slow. So let's press the home button and go back. And that's another thing you'll notice too, is if you're using the browser, it just generally kind of locks down the whole thing. It's almost like it's using all of its processing power to be able to use the browser and just makes everything else really slow. Okay, and I brought in the Kindle Touch here for a quick comparison, and as you can see, the size difference is minimal. This is the Touch on the left here, and it's very slightly larger, but the overall functionality, if you're going to be just using this for strictly reading books, then you're going to be happy with either one. But for those of you who might enjoy the features of being able to browse a little bit easier with this, it also has double the storage. It also can do audiobooks and has the ability to play MP3 music. So there's a bunch of little features and additions that come with the Touch. For the extra $20, I really would probably recommend going with the Touch if you think any of those extra features are going to be worth it to you. But otherwise, if you're strictly reading books and you have no interest in any of the other features, then the $79 Kindle is going to be great for you. So overall, yeah, it's either one you're going to be happy with, and highly recommended.